Hello out to all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you once again for lending me your time and your ear listening into another Gamer's Thoughts discussion. In this, I'm going to be talking about today's gamers being a little bit more unhinged than in previous years. And when I say that, I'm not talking about an age thing. I'm just talking about the current state of the mind of gamers today. With the recent event of the whole guy purchasing shares to be able to be a part of the board meeting to yell at them about fucking Splatoon, and this recent action with the guy just waltzing up on stage with Jeff Keighley, are gamers today really just not all that there? And when I say this, I'm looking at just the fact that these two things happened recently. Then there's always these little micro events that happen, or where you go online and people say things that just don't make any damn sense whatsoever. Like, I mean, not logically at all make any sense. Like, they didn't even think about what they were saying. They just reacted to things. And that includes not even thinking with your emotions. It's just you react. You've already come up with whatever you think is the case, and that's that. It's over with. That's how gamers have been as of late. And I don't know who came up with this idea that just because you pay to be there, you're entitled to disrupt. That's not how it works. If, with the instance of the whole shareholder thing, I'm still surprised that the guy wasted as much money as he did just to do that. And it's like, I know I joke about like how crazy people are and how things can be weird, and even make jokes with myself to say, hey, I'd run up on stage and drop kick whoever off of it. I wouldn't actually do it unless it was something I was paid to do and it was scripted to be done. That's a whole different story, and I'd find some catharsis in it. But it's not something I would actually attempt to do. You wouldn't see, if E3 ever comes around and I get a chance to go, you would not see me run up on the stage during an Xbox presentation and push Phil Spencer over or try to talk to him directly in his ear. It's not something I'd do. It's funny to joke about it, it's funny to meme on it and everything, but it's not something that's actually cool to do. And that line has been getting crossed more and more and more and more. And I'm just wondering for myself, like, why is it this way? Why are gamers in general becoming like this? And sometimes I think it may be an entitlement attitude. Like, I'm entitled to do whatever because I paid money. I'm entitled to disrespect people because I paid money. I'm entitled to go beyond the boundaries because I paid money. That's never the case. Gaming is a product. In the overall scope of things, gaming is a product. It's something you do. It's something that you give and get feedback on, but it is not something that you are entitled to have. It's not something that belongs to you. It's not a thing you own. You are a part of it, but you don't own it. And it's one of those things that gets a little bit more concerning as time goes on, because the thing with Jeff Keighley, that could have escalated horribly if a person with worse intentions than the guy that popped up there did that. It could have gone far worse. And that's my major concern. And it's not just in the gaming community, it's also happened in other forms of entertainment. It's happened with music, it's happening with comedy. It's getting to the point where people are moving beyond the scope of what is acceptable when it comes down to respecting the space of other people. I don't know where this mindset comes from, other than, hey, we're allowed to do whatever the hell we want, and you can't say anything. But like, if that's what people are thinking, that needs to be squashed immediately. That's dangerous. That is highly dangerous. And even worse is that, when you think about it, with the whole thing with Gamescom and Jeff Keighley, security was slow to react. That guy got up there very fast. In the middle of him trying to set up for Starfield and for Todd Howard to come out, that guy got up there incredibly quick. And I mean, I don't know where he was, but he was on that stage in damn near an instant. Where was security to prevent that from happening? I mean, this is definitely something that they're going to have to look at and rework when they do more shows like this. Especially now, like this happened, you gotta know that the Game Awards is going to be locked down for that stage. You've got to know it's going to be locked down, because that is a horrible safety issue that happened. And they're going to need people who are more serious about the security of the people participating in these events. So it's a horrible concern. Like, it's scary. I wouldn't want some unsuspecting developer who doesn't know what's going on to have some weird, crazy fan run out on the stage while they're talking or receiving an award and potentially harm them. It's not something that needs to be done. Again, I understand people have their passions and they can be enthusiastic sometimes to the point of over enthusiasm and zealotry. But it's something you have to be careful about. People have to understand boundaries and limits and space. And it seems that we are losing that more and more and more as time goes on, especially as someone who is a gamer, who's grown up as a gamer their whole life. One of the earliest people to have grown up their whole life as a gamer. But it's like people now don't understand that. And it is highly dangerous. Like, you let someone with dubious intentions get that close, and we may see a catastrophic situation happen. Something that can't be fixed. The good thing is, this happening, especially the more recently, this happening with Jeff Keighley, it was a minor incident. It's something we can walk away from, learn from very quickly. But also, if stuff like this keeps happening, it's going to end up ripping the fun and joy out of people gaming. And these shows will start to dry up, or they'll become online only and be heavily monetized and advertised way more than they are now. Because if they can't have the live shows and have people pay for tickets to get in, to offset that, oh, you best believe it will become all digital very quickly. For the safety concerns of the people that would be getting the awards and going to these potential shows, yeah, it will become all digital very quickly if this type of thing keeps up. This is something that we cannot have keep happening. This is not something that we can keep allowing to happen. So, This is one of those things where the gaming community is going to have to check itself. I hope it does. I hope it does. There are voices out there now talking about how bad this was, how dangerous this was, and I'm joining in that group. This was bad, this was dangerous, we can't let it happen again. And if it does happen again, we need to be prepared for it to happen. It's not something that's good, it's not funny, it's not something to joke about. This is dangerous. This particular situation is dangerous. Someone could get hurt. Someone could get severely hurt, or even worse can happen. And I am saying that as a person, again, who's made jokes about running out on the stage and drop kicking Todd Howard, or running up to Reggie and kicking him in the nuts, or tackling someone. It's one thing to do it on a podcast or talk about it in the discussion and joke around and clarify that it's a joke and it's not an actual intention. Versus someone walking up on the stage, entering another person's personal space with no one knowing the intention of this person. And for them to be able to get there in what was basically the blink of an eye. That's horrifying. You don't know who this person is. You don't know what their plans are. You don't know why they're there. And they disrupt an event, potentially able to harm someone. Again, luckily, this guy, I don't know what his intentions were, but he clearly didn't have any intent on harming anyone, because no harm came to anyone. But if stuff like this keeps happening, these events, they'll stop. There won't be any more Gamescom. There won't be any more Tokyo Game Show. There won't be any more Comic-Con. There won't be any more PAX. If this type of stuff keeps up, all of those things will die out. And if they don't die out, they're going to be severely locked down. They are going to be so severely locked down that the fans of the medium won't be able to interact with the people that bring the medium to them. And that's no joke. I know that that's what's going to happen. So, yeah. Can we put the lid back on the jar, please? Can we, screw the bolts back in the right way? Tighten them up? As the community? Can we do that? Can we, get behind fixing some of the issues that we have? Because if we don't, this type of stuff is going to continue. And then the thing that we love will be taken from us. I'm telling you right now, I know that it'll be taken. And not in the situation where, oh yeah, we'll still have video games to play. Eventually, it will all get shut down. And the companies may just move on to doing something else. We can't have this type of shit keep happening. We can't. We can't allow it. But Andre, everything you're talking about is worst case scenario. It hasn't gotten that bad yet. Let's not let it get there. Let's not let it get there. That's what my argument is. Let's not let it get there. Let's not let it get that far. Let's keep ourselves in check. Let's keep ourselves in check. How about that? How about we keep ourselves in check? And I don't know if this guy went there by himself. I don't know if he talked to anybody before he went up on that stage. And if he did, he did talk to anyone before he did that, anyone he knew before he did that, it was their responsibility to put a stop to that right there. That's the thing. I like, there's so much information that's missing about this particular situation. That's what makes it so dangerous. And this guy probably did it to try to get himself a few minutes of fame, and he did, but probably not in the way he wanted. It's one of those things I worry about. Like, I don't want to describe how bad that could have been. But for all of us that are the adults out there, we already know. If you're anywhere from your mid-20s upwards, you immediately started to think about how bad that could have been. And it only derailed the show for about 30 seconds. They did wrap it up pretty quickly once the security got there. But that had to be and I might not particularly be the biggest fan of Jeff Keighley, but that had to have been one of the longest 30 seconds of that man's life when that happened. And you could tell he was shaken up. He tried to remain professional, but you could tell he was shaken up. You could hear it in his voice. And Todd Howard came out. To his credit, he tried to get everybody back, headed toward what was the event for the moment, and talking about Starfield. This is one of the few times I appreciate hearing Todd Howard. That's a scary situation for anyone to be in. That is a horrifically scary situation for anyone to be in when you just have someone pop up on you. You didn't know that they were there and they start talking to you. Especially trying to whisper in your ear. That is unnerving as fuck. And I would not want to be the person put in that position. And to his credit, Jeff did keep his composure as well as he could have. I know if that had been me in his position, that guy would have been laid out on the floor. I would have physically reacted without thinking. Because that's not some way you walk up on somebody on their blind side. You don't do that. No. You don't do that. You do not walk up on the blind side of a person that you don't know. And especially since he had that microphone in his hand, he could have done some serious damage to this guy if he just reacted and hit him. Again, I'm a different person from Jeff Keighley. I would have knocked the guy out with the microphone. And I wouldn't have regretted doing it. That's self-preservation at that point. You don't just waltz up to someone like that. No matter what it is. You don't just waltz up like that from an unknown position. So, again, this situation could have gone far worse. I'm glad that it didn't. But gaming community, we have to reseal this jar. I don't know if it's entitlement. I don't know if it's people just thinking that, oh, this is going to be fun. I don't know what in particular is possessing people to do these stupid things. But we have to put it back in the jar and seal it. We can't have this happen anymore. Obviously, there's going to be some cracks. Something's going to leak out. But we have to put as heavy of a lid on this jar as possible. I don't want the shows that we enjoy or the events that we enjoy end up being taken from us. Yeah, an all digital presentation is cool, but sometimes it's nice to be there in person with other people who share and enjoy your hobby. And I don't want to see that be taken away. I don't. So yeah. So when this is on YouTube and posted to Facebook and stuff, I'm not putting music behind this because this is a highly serious subject. I normally would. I'm not. This isn't just about my opinion. It's dangerous. And I want people to be able to hear me as clearly as possible. But yeah, I think I'm done. If you have any comments or any thoughts, please go ahead and add them. There's a little bit of a fury in me that I can't quite express about this, so I'm just gonna go ahead and stop here. But thank you guys very much for listening, and keep your eyes and ears out for more stuff from me. And until the next time, enjoy your games and peace out, everybody. Be safe. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy, and I'd like to thank you once again for tuning in. If you would be interested in supporting my efforts in content creation, please head on over to Amazon and look up The Game Idea Guy Presents Gaming Word Search, and you will find both Volume 1 and Volume 2 up for sale. Thank you very much once again, and I hope to be able to create more content for you in the future. Peace out.